We've all experienced this. An attacking team bulldozing down your bomb site while you sit back and try to hold it to no effect, and then they come again and they win, and again and they win, and next round they go to your teammate's bomb site and they win there too. You feel at a loss because you're constantly on the back foot, and it seems like there's just an insane skill disparity between you and the other team. But there's not. The reason you're experiencing this is because the other team doesn't respect you. They don't respect the agent you're playing, they don't respect the way your team is defending the bomb sites, and they certainly don't respect you as a player personally. And it's not because you're bad, it's because you don't understand how to play defense side in Valorant. Here's the problem. Almost every low rank player I coach is playing too passive on defense. They play in deep passive positions at the start of rounds, giving up tons of map control and not taking information that's there for free. Take split A site for example. A lot of players I coach will start in screens. This is giving up tons of information and free space that you could otherwise take on some rounds. And keep this principle in mind. Just because you didn't throw the round doesn't mean it's not your fault if you don't win. There are always going to be opportunities available to you to win the round for your team. It's your job to be able to find those opportunities and take them when they're there. And so playing so far back and playing passively, while sometimes it's the smart play, generally isn't the right thing to do. Because this style of play leaves so many opportunities on the table. You end up losing out in the long run. The secret then is to play assertively. If you adopt an assertive playstyle on defense, it'll do a few things for you. Number one, it'll start commanding respect from the attackers. If you play assertive positions, the attackers will have to work at least a little bit to push you away. This will condition them to have a natural respect for your bomb site, and they'll have to spend more resources to capture the area. The more resources they have to spend taking your spot on the map, the less resources they have when they actually want to execute on something and then play a post plan too. I also mentioned that this will condition them to have a respect for your bomb site. When I say condition, I mean that we're going to show the other team a certain style of play or set of utility for a few rounds in a row to train them to expect a certain type of play from us. Once we have the other team conditioned, we can do our own plays off of what we know they're going to assume we're going to do. If I peek A main as a defender every single round on split, then they're going to be trained to expect me to be really close and playing aggressively, so they're going to respect that area of the map. So something I could do off of this assumption that I know they have is maybe I don't even play A for the first 15 seconds of the round and I go peek mid as an opper and vent. This is just one example of how conditioning can work. As you can see, this assertive playstyle lets us condition and manipulate our opponents in ways that'll help us. The second way that this assertive playstyle will help us is it allows you to exchange space with the attackers more quickly and effectively. Space exchange is the idea that when the attackers grab a piece of map control, they're naturally weaker somewhere else on the map, so if they're not taking space where you are, their weak side is probably where you are. What this allows you to do as a defender is push up a little quicker than you otherwise would so that you can catch timings on them and just generally catch them off guard. Let's take Haven A long for example. If I'm playing Jet and I'm posted on A long with an op and the other team is hitting garage or C, I'm able to lurk up and get a really deep angle into their spawn. And if I'm really feeling it, I can get an angle all the way down to C long if I push up into A lobby. So as you can see, this type of space exchange just allows you to have a lot more pressure on the map as a defender. And in the end, it'll secure you a lot more rounds than it'll lose you. Let's do a quick recap before we move on to the last point. So first, we talked about how playing assertively will command respect from the attackers and how this is going to make them use more utility and it's going to make their site hits weaker. Then we talked a little bit about how playing assertively will help us condition the attackers so we can sort of make plays off of what we know they're going to expect from us. And then we talked about how playing assertively will help us exchange space and get behind the attackers when they try to take another spot on the map. This last point might be the most important one since Valorant is such a team-based game, and being able to do this will win you way more rounds than anything else. And that's that playing assertively is going to get you tons more information than any other playstyle. When you adopt this playstyle, you'll be able to get a ton of deep information super early on in the round. After getting this information, you can relay it to your teammates and they can come to their own conclusions about what might be happening towards their side of the map. For example, if you're on A main on split again and you see nothing, well, there's a really good chance that the whole team's either B or mid. In contrast, if you had just set up in the back of screens or maybe a deep site somewhere, you would have no idea and your teammates would be a lot more in the dark about what might be going on. So in a nutshell, playing assertively is going to make the other team respect you a lot more. If they don't respect you, they're just going to run down your bomb sites, they're going to have momentum on you, they're going to have more utility, and they're just going to be able to beat you a lot easier. Keep in mind that playing assertively doesn't necessarily mean you're holding your spot until you die. It just means that we want to make sure the enemy respects the the area of the map we're playing, and we don't give up anything for free that we don't already have to. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. In the description, I have links to all of my socials as well as a community Discord that I host. I also offer coaching. I've competed at the top level in Valorant and ranked, as well as scrims and matches against some of the best players in North America. So I'm more than confident that I can help any student reach the goals that they have for themselves. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.